today we're going to be talking about like our siblings, growing up with our siblings, like how we are with them now, and just the dynamics in that house. So I'll go first. I have a twin sister and an older brother. Well, me and my twin, like, we do everything together. Like, we're always together. We have the same friends. We go to the same school. We run the same classes at school sometimes. Anytime we go out, we're together. So it's like most of the time we're together, not really apart. And like we argue a lot, but it's kind of okay. I feel like because we're used to arguing. Like I feel like when you have a twin, you're gonna argue a lot because you guys are always together. Like we share a room. We're always together. So that's like what it is. And then I have an older brother, and like I talk to him. Like we talk to each other. We're like, there's no bad things. We have arguments sometimes. It's just different because I'm not as close with him as I am with my sister. But like we still talk about stuff, and like I'll still go in his room just to bother him. And yeah, like I feel like with my siblings, I get bored easily. So I just put stuff to purposely bother them. Like I'll go in their room and like try jumping on them or like bothering them. That's what I do. And like now that we're older, we don't argue as much as we all did when we were younger. Like we used to always argue and like fight and stuff. But now we just like we might say stuff to each other here and there and then call it a day. It's, at least for me.
For me, I have a good relationship with my sister. We're pretty close, and yeah, we do fight and stuff like that. But we do go out and have fun. Our arguments, they're like little. They're over like tiny things, like really small things, like who wants to watch TV now, or things like that. But yeah, me and my sister, we're pretty good. Sometimes I do podcasts with her and just talk about how life is and our journey from going to California and coming back here, and but it was pretty fun.
What's the age difference?
12 years.
Okay.
It's time for me?
Yeah.
I can share.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I grew up in a home where I had 3 sisters, not 2, 3, and my mother. My father left when I was very young, and my 3 sisters and I were close, but my oldest sister, who was 2 years older than I am, we would always get into it. We would always fight, and because she thought she was in control.
Mm-hmm.
And so when my mother went to work and she was taking care of us, or my mother went out in the evening and she was caring for us, she told me, you can't use the phone, you can't play this music, you can't do that. So again, we ended up having fist fights in the house because she was too overbearing. So that was my oldest sister, but I love her dearly.
Yeah.
I mean, that was back then. Obviously, we both grew up and matured. My middle sister, my next sister, she and I had a great relationship when I was a teenager. We used to go to the parties together. I would look at a very fine young lady, and I would send my sister over there to do intel, like get information from her, and she would say to her, "That's a fine young man over there." But
so why
we worked a little scam.
So how close in age were you guys?
My oldest sister, I would say.
She's 2 years, right?
I would say, and I don't know for certain, 5 years old, maybe 5 years older than me. But you were gonna say something about the scam?
Yeah. Why didn't you go over there yourself to talk to her?
Because I needed things planted in her mind so it wouldn't take me so long to dance with her and talk with her. It's just, and it worked. It worked. But she actually moved to Virginia. My entire family moved to Virginia. And when she moved, relationships was not the way that it used to be when I was younger.
Yeah, because also there wasn't as much technology as well, like, right, to call people.
Oh yeah, that's right. So you wouldn't be able to like reach out to her.
So we are not close now at all. And when I go to Virginia, I do not take the time to go see her or her family because it just is not the way that it was. That the closest one I was with was my middle sister, and today we're not really spending any time talking. Now my baby sister, that's a whole different story. We are palsy-walsies. When I go to Virginia, I stay at a house with her and her husband. She is like a rock to me, sort of like your twin sister is to you. But again, I have a lot of stories to tell about growing up together with us, and I'll get to those as soon as Renee finishes what she has to say.
I am one of 7. Me and all my siblings, we all get along. I never fought. I never fought.
You telling me all your siblings, you never had one fight with at least one of them?
There's got to be at least one fight.
There's no way. There's no way. Because I used to fight my sister all the time, like fist fights. Like,
no.
Yes.
No. I think because it's so, there are so many of us. So if I was upset with you, I just didn't talk to you. I'll go talk to
a different sister.
To my younger brother or my older brother. I would just, I would avoid you. I was that type of child. I didn't like chaos or trouble. So I avoided that at all costs. Now, on the other hand, my siblings were the opposite. They were always getting into things they shouldn't get into. But I didn't follow that route. I just did not like to be disciplined by my parents. I didn't want to get in trouble by my parents. So when I was told to do something, I did it. Right now, all of my siblings, we get along, but my baby sister and one of my younger brothers, we're very close. But we all communicate. We talk by text. We pick up the phone and call each other. My oldest brother FaceTimes all the time because he wants to see your face, to make sure everything's good, make sure everything's okay with everyone in the family. And he's the one that keeps us grounded, keeps us connected with one another since my mom passed away. So we tried, we really look out for one another. We were brought up, my mother would always say, you don't have anyone else but your siblings. It's just you guys. So we were taught to look out for one another no matter what went on. Even if I was upset, at the end of the day, if you needed something, we were there for one another. We support each other through the good and the not so good times. We're there. Whatever one can do for someone, the other will try to do the same if they can. So we basically, I'm not saying we were a perfect family, but we truly was raised that you look out for one another. You are your siblings' keeper, and we had to act accordingly. Growing up back in the day, when your parents told you to do ABC, you did ABC. You didn't step out of that ABC. Otherwise, you were disciplined. Otherwise, you would get it into a lot of trouble by your parents. And if your parents weren't around, there was adults that disciplined your siblings, that had the permission from your parents to discipline if needed. It didn't really happen. They told if we did something that we shouldn't do, but we would look out for one another, try to keep each other from getting in trouble.
So not lie for each other, but Just story
No,
of
look,
it.
no, not even not lie, because you get in more trouble for lying. So it wasn't even worth that, because at the end of the day, somebody was gonna rat you out. So it was more of kind of warning, like if you were doing something and we knew my mother or my father was coming, it was kind of like, you better stop. Here come mom. Here come dad. So that they wouldn't get in trouble. So try to help them avoid getting caught for doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Mm.
But yeah, so I mean, we look out for each other. We get along. We hang out together. Go to each other's house. Just the normal stuff. And and then one of my brothers, he likes to party. I go over his house, but for certain things, but not. It's depending on what he's doing, whether I will take part in it. And it's just because I don't like the atmosphere. If I don't like the atmosphere, I don't partake in that. I just avoid it altogether.
I grew up with my two youngest sisters. We were pretty close, and like we would like bicker and stuff, like like snitch on each other, whatever. But yeah, but now I'm closer to my older siblings. I don't really talk to my younger siblings like that. Yeah, I talk to I talk to my older sister and my older brother, and yeah, I'm pretty close with them. Yeah, they're like, my sister's 25 and my brother's 21. I'm 19. So
Do you all live in the same city?
no, my sister lives in Attleboro and my brother lives in New Hampshire. But yeah, that's about it.
So I have a question for you too, because obviously there's different times, so parents teach their kids different stuff and like different rules. So like, I know earlier you told us that your parents said if anything like happens to any of your siblings, you guys all got to be there to like help each other when stuff happens. So did your parents or your mom ever tell you the same thing? Like, like if anything's going on with your sisters, like a fight, for example, or anything, you make sure you be there to help out in case or anything like that.
She didn't say that to us. I had, when I was 17, I think, my family, we lived on Seaver Street in Dorchester, and my mother was going to move to Hyde Park. And it was you familiar with Georgetown and Hyde Park? Ever hear of it? No? Okay. We'll have to school you later. But the movers came that day, and they moved the kitchen out. They moved my mother's bedroom, my sister's bedroom. Everything was moved out except for my room. And as I watched the moving truck going down the street, I was in the apartment with all of my things because they had not planned for me to travel with them. So I ended up living at my pastor's house, Reverend Michael Haynes, with his mother, because I couldn't stay in this apartment by myself. So my family didn't have, if something happened, that we all going to fight or defend each other. We never talked about that. But it happened. My younger sister had a lot of issues with young men who wanted to possess her and control her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was always called to her house or to the house to defend my sister. And at the time, I was a clerk magistrate in the court system, so I could get the court or get police to come to my family's aid all the time. So again, we weren't taught that, but we did act. We did protect each other.
Yeah, I feel like siblings do that a lot. Like, yeah, we're gonna obviously protect each other no matter
Right.
what you're
Right.
on, no matter if you're not speaking terms or anything like that.
I was going to ask you about your sister, your twin sister. You guys like would go at it
Yeah.
with each other.
But yeah, we still do.
But if somebody came against one of you,
Yeah, we're fighting them. I don't care. You're not gonna touch my sister. Like, I don't care if I'm even my brother. My brother says this all the time. Like, we were talking about a scenario. Like, I said to my brother, "What if me and London were fighting a bunch of girls and trying to jump in?" My brother said he's gonna hit. Like, yeah, like I feel like any person, boy, girl, cousin, like any family member is gonna jump in and help your family member if anything's happening or anything like that. Like my sister, obviously, if I'm having a conversation with another person and she feels it's like she wants to jump in because she's my sister, she's going to do that. And I'm going to do the same thing for her. I'm not going to ever let like her be by herself or in any situation. And even my brother, like even if a girl's trying to talk to him crazy or like try to hit him and he's not going to hit back, I'm going to say something to the girl because you're not going to do that to my brother. Like it's certain stuff that we have for each other. You're not going to hit my brother because he's a boy, he's not going to hit you back. Or you're not going to try to say something to my sister and think she's like alone. That's just me.
Wow. I had another one, but I lost it. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I got it back.
I was going to ask, have you ever had to be in a situation like help your sister when something like someone said something to her or
I mean, yeah. When my sister, like I told you guys before, my sister gets into those altercations with those random people, I already know my sister is in the wrong, but I still have to back her up. But yeah, I help her out sometimes. There was never a fight, but I just try and separate the two, and yeah.
Well, I have a question to ask everybody. In growing up, how many fights have you had?
well, what, your sibling?
Or with other people.
Total, with other people. Fights with people outside of your home. How many did you have, and how many did you win?
I would say like a handful. Like it was mainly at school, whatever. But
Yeah,
like,
I had one at school this year actually.
Oh,
Spill.
Excuse me. I'm gonna fill out a form and send it to the state to get your Corey. What happened?
Cause it was like, okay, so basically it was over something stupid actually. Like I'm a person like I don't really care. Like my mind says I don't care about certain stuff. Like if it doesn't affect me, I don't like. I'm a person. I'm nonchalant. I don't care about stuff because I'm like someone who I'm chill. I'm cool with everyone. I can walk in a room and everyone just like I could talk to everyone. That's the type of person I am. My sister, on the other hand, she's always in something. Like it's always her and obviously since we're twins, they're gonna say, "Oh, it's Layla and London." They always put us together, and like that's fine because like I'm not gonna let my sister go against a group of people. So it was like she's had a problem with, like I guess this group of girls. And then more group of girls started coming. Like, when you're not friends with one group of girls, and then the other group of girls that you're not friends with, they want to become friends to gang up on you. That's what it was. And like, you're not gonna do that to my sister. So then I just got into it, and then I was just fed up because like we weren't saying anything to them because we already know like they kept saying little stuff at school, and even they're calling us out of school and doing stuff. And me and my sister were never scared. We're not gonna do that. But they kept telling us at school to avoid the situation, don't get into it. And we were doing that because, listen, we were building a proof. You got to act like the victim. If they're going to keep bothering you, you got to act like the victim. So we're building a proof. And we're telling the school over and over, if they keep doing this and we have to act out, then it's going to be a problem. They're not listening. We're telling them over and over. Eventually, we're the youngest ones. Me and my sister are 14. Everyone else is literally sophomores, juniors, and seniors trying to argue with 14-year-olds who are just coming and being freshman year.
So like 17, 18.
Like 16, 15, 17, So then we're telling them if we have to use self-defense, my mom's telling them, then it's not our fault. So one day, it was 2 of the girls out of like 10 of the girls. It was like 2 out of 11. So
Jeez.
One day I came back from vacation. I'm tired. Like, this is the day I just came back from Florida, like 2 a.m. And I went to school because, like, I already missed a couple of days. And I didn't want my mom to have to wake up and drive me to school. So I got on the bus. And, like, this girl that I don't like, she's a part of the friend group. She's arguing with this boy. And I sit in the back of the bus alone. And she comes back. My sister's in front of me. My friend's across from me. Like, all of us sit in a little area. She comes to the back of the bus while she's arguing with the boy because the boy was in the front and he moved back to his seat and she followed him. And she sits next to me in my seat and I'm like, there's open seats across from me, behind me, in front of me, and you want to sit with me. And I hate when you do that. Like, you know I don't like you and you don't like me, but you're sitting next to me. Why are you doing that? It got me upset. So I asked her nicely, can you get on my seat? She says no. No, she says okay, but then she moves closer to me. Like, she's moving closer to me. Why are you moving closer to me?
That's just
That
to
was
tick you off.
Like,
provoking.
yeah, like, why are you moving close to me? And I asked you nicely. And then I got up. I said, London, why is she sitting in my seat? And London's like, I don't know. So then the boy she's arguing with, she sees that and he's like, bro, get out her seat. He says that, get out her seat. Like, the boy she's arguing with, she's like, bro, just get out Layla's seat. She's still sitting there. So then my friend, he takes it upon himself. He says, all right, everyone shut up. He said, can y'all stop arguing? It's dumb. And then he's like, and my friend Layla doesn't want you sitting in her seat, so get out. So she gets up and she's like, I don't care about no B word, this and that, while she's walking back to her seat. So I said something. I said, like, what do you want to do? Because at this point, I'm tired, everything, this and that. So then it's this whole thing on the bus. Everyone's like, the boys are saying, you don't want to fight Layla and London. You already know you don't want to fight them, this and that. So stop trying to, like, act crazy. And then this whole thing, I called my friend to the back. I told her what was going to happen. I told her, as soon as we get to school, we're getting a fight. Like, I already told her that. I don't care. My sister's getting ready. My friend's getting ready. They're getting ready in the front.
I'm asking you, what does getting ready
like,
mean?
We're just getting ready. We're just getting ready, like tying our hair up, whatever.
Exactly.
So we pull up to school. I get off the bus first. I sit in the back. I made sure I get off first. My friend was, these two boys that I'm really close with, like, we're friends. I grew up with them. They were planning to break it up, but that just never happened. That never happened. So we get off the bus. When we pull up to school, I'm off first. They're there. My sister gets off behind. And me and one of the girls that sat in my seat, we start fighting. And, like, I'm low-key beating her up. And I got on top of her, and I'm hitting her. Her friend, like, tried to push me. And that's when my sister came and started getting the friend. Like, you're not going to try to jump me. It's my sister. So my sister came running. It's actually funny thinking about it because, like, it was funny. My sister came running, and she started hitting the girl and beating her up.
I'm guessing this is the time where everyone
and then
started
this is,
surrounding.
let me tell you what's crazy. No. It's crazy is everyone on the bus knew what was going to happen. Everyone on the other bus, they're calling people on the other bus telling them what's going to happen. Everyone just walked into school. Everyone knew it. No one recorded it. Like, everyone walked into school and everybody knew what was going to happen.
Oh.
That's the thing. So then the dean, when I got off the bus, he looked at me, he said, Layla, no. And I shook my head, and that's when we started fighting. So they broke it up. They were holding my sister back. And then they let me go. And Linda was fighting. And I was sitting over there. And then, like, I was still mad. So no one was holding me back, and I seen an opening. So I went to go get the girl who tried to push me. Like, you try to push me when I'm fighting, don't push me. So I went to go get her. And then my sister got the person I was fighting. So, like, we switched low key. and then it finished. Mr. Wise came running and he grabbed me. Her husband came running, he grabbed me, and everyone, we broke it off. And then me and my sister walking to school so happy, like, we were smiling. And then
was you called down to the office or
no,
anything?
we knew we were going to the office. Like, we're fighting. We knew. Someone on the bus had called the school already, so they know it was going to be a fight. Because, so we already knew. We were just laughing because we were smiling. Like, finally, these people have been bothering us the whole school year, obviously, like, But after that, how come none of them ever said anything? They want to be friends. They want to apologize. All the girls in the group, after we fought them, because we beat them up, after we fought them, they all said, guys, we don't want any problems, let's just be fine. And now I guess everything's fine. I don't know.
So are you friends with them now?
I'm not friends with them.
Good. I'm
not friends with them. I don't have problems with you. Like, I don't have problems with you since you guys don't want to have problems anymore. They said they don't want to have problems.
Did the school do anything?
Yeah, officially? We got in-school suspension for 2 days, but that was the best time of my life.
That's it? Only 2 days?
I loved in-school suspension. If you want to be honest, I had teachers bringing me food, donuts. They was escorting us to the teachers' bathrooms. I was low-key watching Netflix the whole time.
That is not fair.
I loved in-school suspension, actually.
That's not fair, because for us, if you have in-school suspension, I never had it, but my friend had it, and you would get treated like you're a prisoner.
Not for me. Like, they was letting us go to the thing is, like, after the fight, because nobody likes the girls that we fought. Like, nobody at school. So after the fight, I was getting text messages like, Layla, I love you. They were saying, like, people. So
you did everyone a favor.
No, they was like, one of my friends was like, Layla, I literally love you. Another person was like, that was great performance I seen. So, like, people were just coming up to the doors, giving us hugs. Girl, like, it went out quick. No one likes them. So, like, everybody was just surrounding the doors. Everyone was trying to give me a London hug, saying thank you. And then they tried separating us for like a day. The day we fought, they sent us home. We called our mom on the bus. We told her, you're gonna have to start driving to Lexington now. So she came. We went home that day. The next day, we had in-school suspension. And they separated us. London was in one room, and I was in the room next to her. And then the next day, they didn't really care, so I just walked into London's room and stayed there the whole time. Like, and we were just playing Hangman and watching Netflix. And
Were the other young ladies suspended?
yeah, they were suspended. They were in a different building with their dean.
Okay.
And yeah, they couldn't take the bus with us one time. Like, they couldn't take the bus with us. That we still did take the bus, and they couldn't. They had to go on a different bus, and we didn't. We got to stay on our bus because we were provoked. Like, there's only so much we can take, and then we're the youngest ones. Like, you can't. We're 14, and if as freshmen we just turned 14 and started the school year. Everyone's older than us, and you guys are trying to argue with little people for no reason. Like, literally, we weren't even saying anything back. At first, we were entertaining it, or my sister was, but then we stopped because, like, no one's gonna touch us. We don't care if you're not actually gonna touch me. Why? You're gonna just talk. And
Right.
then that was it. Like, we fought them, and that's what it is. After that, they all try to, like, come up to us in school and pull us to the side. I was like, can we just be cool? Can we? And, like, I told London, they don't have to be problems, but don't talk to them. Like, now you want to be cool after we just fought your friends? Like, no, I hate that. But my mom always says you have to make an example out of 2 or 3, and everyone else will follow back. So that's what happened. It was, now that I think about it, it's really funny. Like, thinking about how it actually went down, because it's like, I don't know. It was just funny to me.
I think we all need to be careful, even if we win, because people begin to label, adults, not young people, adults begin to label us. But I mean, I understand. The school is at... I would say the school's at fault.
I literally I wrote them letters, emails, telling them these people are still harassing us and everything. And I was doing everything. I was telling them all the time with proof that how they're bothering us out of school, this and that. And the school did nothing. They're trying to say they love to say it's a back and forth thing. If it's no, it's not, because the other girls are telling you we're bothering them. But what is the proof? Where's the videos? Where's the evidence? We're actually showing them messages and videos and stuff, and them calling us and just bothering us in school. We have teachers and students who are witnessing and saying, yeah, they're bothering them, and they're not doing anything about it. The other group couldn't say nothing. The other was saying was that we're bothering them. They couldn't show any proof of that. Yeah. And that's why I was upset. And when my mom came and they were talking to us, like when the fight just happened, I was laughing in the meeting because it's like, you can't say it's a back and forth thing, and it's not. Like, I just don't like that. They always think it's petty drama, and it's not petty drama.
And the people you met, was it the Medco people?
It was Medco
school?
And Lexington. It was Medco and Lexington. I tried going, and they were like, bro, they just weren't listening. They were low-key pissing me off a little bit. Like, they just weren't listening. Why would I make this up? And I'm showing you videos and stuff of them, like, and it's just like, it's so annoying. But yeah, after that, I was vibing for the rest of the school year. It was a vibe. Oh, well, a great.
Well, the reason why I had asked has anyone else had a fight?
I mean, yeah, but like, okay, I already told you this, but like, I didn't get into an actual fight with her, but like, I wanted to so bad, but I didn't. Like, junior year, like, I got bullied really, really bad, like, cyberbullying, all that stuff. And like, these girls was going back and forth with me, starting problems with no reason because like I took their friend or whatever. No.
Wait.
They introduced me to their friend, and they was mad that me and their friend was getting closer.
It's always mine is.
No, it was like that. So they was mad. They was like, oh, you're planning on going to her house, and we never even been to her house. Like, why is she doing that to you? Whatever. So I had classes. I don't remember how many classes with them I had. I think I had like one class at the end of the day, or like, no, I had two. I had history and English with them. So I had history right before lunch, and then I had English like right at the end of the day. So it was worse because I had history with them, and my teacher, she lived for the drama. So whenever like something happened, like she didn't do nothing about it because she liked it, whatever. So
and these are teachers.
So yeah, I was telling her about it. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with Tanasia in the room and her friends because they're always saying something to me. And she was like, okay, well, we'll just separate you guys. Like, you can sit at the different table. That wasn't gonna do nothing. Sitting at a different table, like, bro, just take her out the class altogether. So I'm sitting at like the farther side of the room, whatever. They're sitting at the front, and then like one of her friends, they come over to me and start talking to me, and then Tanasia starts recording on her phone, talking about, oh, she's sitting next to the op, look at this, whatever. So she posted that on, I think, her Snapchat or whatever, and somebody showed it to me. I forgot who showed it to me. It must have been my friend or somebody, but somebody showed it to me, and I was like, okay, great. So because of that, like, the whole junior year, nobody talked to me, nobody liked me. So then senior year, like I think it was like at the end or like the middle of senior year, like she still was saying stuff, didn't like me, whatever. And we had like a big argument like junior year. Like we was gonna fight, but she didn't want it because I told her I was ready. She was like, oh, I'm gonna touch you. I'm like, but you're not touching me. I'm ready to go. Like my stuff, my bags were on the floor. I was ready to go. And like she was like, I'm gonna like fight this B word, whatever. She didn't do nothing. So I was face to face with her. I was like, but you're not hitting me. That's the problem. Like you're not hitting me. You're still gonna hit me, but you're not hitting me. So I was like, whatever. She don't want it. So then senior year, she lost all her friends because I don't even remember why, but they all just started disliking her for some reason. I was like, oh well, I don't care. So then they all started talking to me. They like started talking to me or whatever, like not like friends, but like, you know, like they started making conversation with me. Like they weren't afraid to talk to me. So I was like, okay, these people are cool, they're chill. And then one of Tanasia's friends, she started making friends with I think she was the president at the time. Her friend was like the president of like the school, whatever, or our grade, I don't remember. But they got into a fight with these like other girls that I knew because one of them had a kid. So Tanasia's friend was talking about the girl's kid. So then this was during lunch, but I didn't know because I was just being like minding my business during lunch, whatever. So like they get into it real bad. Like they was fighting and like they got jumped and everything. And mind you, Tanasia wasn't even defending her friend. She was standing there watching her friend get beat up. And I was like, what the hell? So then
he's living for this,
right? Because it's mad juicy. Like literally everybody was jumping in. And, like, they literally, if you saw the video, they threw her against the fence. Like, she hit her head against that fence, bro. Like, it was crazy. And then they started beating her on the floor. And I was like, oh, my gosh. And then Tanasia was just standing there. And then everybody was like, Tanasia, you're not going to help your friend. You're not going to help your friend.
friend.
So then after they said that to her, she started helping her. Like, you're not going to touch her. You're not going to touch her. I'm like... People had to tell you to help your friend.
That's crazy. Like when I told my friend on the bus, like, "Oh, just be there in case." I said, "Don't fight it unless someone hits you, but be there in case people try to jump." She was there, making sure, looking around, pushing people back at anyone trying to come in. That's what my friend was doing. So that's really weird.
She was mad fake. Like after that fight, nobody was talking to them, and like nobody liked them. I was like, that's what they get because like, why are you starting problems out of nowhere? Especially her kid. Kid don't even go to the school or is not even grown enough to know what's happening. So like why are we bringing that up? So I was like, whatever, that's what they get anyway. So nobody liked them for the rest of the year or whatever. Like people talked about like getting into more fights with them, but it didn't happen. I was like, dang. We was looking at the whole video during class. Like the whole class we were just talking about it with the teacher, and it was funny.
So that was only one fight in your life?
No. I've had fights like actual fights. This was like in middle school though. Like high school, I didn't really get into fights, but middle school, in 8th grade, it was over some stupid stuff. I'm not even gonna lie, it was so stupid. But like in 8th grade, we had like what class was that? Can't remember if it was like a theater or like a gym class, but it was something like that.
Kind of elective,
right? Yeah, it was like an elective. So me and my friend, we were like, I wanted to stand next to my friend. But this girl, she was not my friend at the time. She wanted to stand next to my friends, even though I was already standing there. So I pushed her. I was like, why are you standing next to them? Because I was already going to do that. And then she was like, you're not going to push me. And then, like, we started fighting on the floor. So then I had to, like, fill out a form or whatever, apologize to her. And they had a whole sit-down conversation with me. They were like, you need to stop bullying her because she's on meds and she has, like, mental illness problems. How do I answer that?
I just hate when they try to make you fill out a form. Like, that's so annoying.
Yep.
Hello.
So okay. While she's on answering the phone.
Agreeing to her. I just hate when they make you fill out forms. Like, they just, like, that's so dumb. The questions are repetitive. And then it's like, when the question's just like, how do you think the other person felt? And I said embarrassed because you lost. And I wrote that down. It's like,
because Pastor Bruce had asked us. Why? Like,
now they're gonna get me in trouble.
but like the thing is about our fights is like the boys had told all the girls, y'all don't want to fight later in London because we play fight with our friends that are boys, and they're like they hit hard, like they fight like boys, like because me and my sister grew up around like brothers and cousins and stuff. We're the only girls, like our cousins are all boys, so we fight them, and like we're used to like fighting like boys, and that's what they said. And the boys at our school was like, you guys don't want to fight them because they actually fight like boys, like not pulling here, like they actually score up and slam and stuff. And it's like, that's the truth. So
Like for me,
a lot of people don't really want problems with us.
like for me, my freshman year, it was
Oh, he's in trouble.
Yes, good. I have a group of hood rats.
what?
No, that's what my aunt called me. She was like, "Why are you getting ghetto?"
Okay, so like for me, it's like my cousin was like getting bullied by this one kid, and nobody liked him. He was like so annoying, and like, so he was like bullying him like in the classroom. We had the same class, and the bell was about to ring, and when me and my cousin leave, he like pushes him out the door. And like he makes my cousin hit his head on the locker while like on coming down on impact. And as soon as I saw that, I was so upset.
What happened to his head? Was it like open? Like not open?
It was bleeding a little bit.
Okay.
And I checked on my cousin first, and I'm like, "Yo, are you good?" And I'm like, what happened?" And he's like, "Him, he did it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I stand up, and I'm like, "Yo, what's your problem?" And he's like, guess what? Your problem is your cousin is my problem. And I'm like, okay, that doesn't mean you have to hit him like that. Next thing you know, I just punch him straight in the nose.
Yeah, like I feel like people would do that for their family.
Straight
like,
in the nose, and he just like falls back. And I'm like, wait, did I hit him too hard? Because like I was like going through like depression at the time, and it was just like I did not mean to hit him that hard.
I think
So that just shows how like we're gonna do stuff for our family, like the fight with me and my sister had. Yes, it was because you're not finna try to bother my sister. No one's gonna try to bother me, and I have a sister. You just try to stick up for your cousin. That's a fair thing. Like I just feel like you're gonna stick up for your family if you're for fighting. Like, have you ever gotten in a fight? Are you kind of?
I was going to say, I was so traumatized by hearing about the fights. But what about you, Renee? Have you had a fight?
Yes.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Was it for your family?
No.
Ooh.
In middle school, we were in sewing class.
Sewing
class.
That seems like a picture class.
I'm in sewing class.
No,
I'm
but
have a fight.
Needles were thrown.
No, it's just minding my business. I was doing whatever I was supposed to be doing, and this girl threw a pair of scissors at me.
Ooh.
Wait.
Middle school?
Yep.
Please tell me
she threw a pair of scissors at me, and it missed me.
A little bit
by that much, and I just
snapped.
I grabbed her by her hair, swung her across the table. I was trying to kill a girl. I was like,
you just trying to kill me,
right?
Like she tried to kill me. Like, hello, why did you throw a pair of scissors at me? So then and it was over as quick as it happened. But of course, all the other kids
made
a big deal about it.
Yeah, they made.
So we got in trouble. But yeah, my mother didn't.
Yeah,
Mother didn't discipline me because the girl, she was a problem. She caused a lot of problems, and even her parents said that they couldn't control her, that she was out of control and she was doing things that she shouldn't be doing. So yeah. So after that, no one would mess with me because I was quiet.
Hello.
But don't mess with me, and you won't have a problem.
What about you?
Well, now hearing that story, I'm gonna tone it down with her. I would. I'm not gonna bother you anymore.
That's not true. We both know.
Don't bother any of us. Just cut it to the rats. We're gonna jump you later.
I'm terrified. So I remember having two fights growing up. I can't remember what happened with the second one, so we won't go there. But with the first one, I had a fight with a young man. I was living in the Jamaica Plain housing projects, and I was supposed to be fighting this young man. I thought I was Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are? This young man beat me. He beat me. I lost the fight, and there was a lot of kids watching it. And when you lose a fight in the housing development, you become like a target.
That's what it was at school. Oh, you lost. That's how it is at schools now. If you lose a fight, you're a target.
Yeah.
But the way that he beat me, he didn't punch me in the face. He basically just fell on the ground,
and
threw me one way, then fell on the ground, threw me the other way. Yeah. I don't know who stopped it. I didn't get hurt, but it was a fight. And now at my age, I'm considered a senior citizen.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to take some self-defense classes because as seniors you become a target.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm seriously
Hello?
thinking of. So someone's on the phone? Okay.
Hello?
Go ahead. We can hear you.
Your
Can
mic-
you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, loud and clear.
It's there's some feedback on my end.
Make sure is the button down?
I'm in the
I can hear her.
Not that one. The
Oh,
radio
yeah.
boss button. Okay.
Wait, tell her talking again because it just cut out.
Okay. She's calling back.
I heard her.
And press the red light.
Hello?
Okay, you back?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear
Oh.
you.
Okay, wonderful. So Renee, I really didn't like hearing that story about you fighting.
With scissors, okay, with scissors.
Yeah, I heard it. So this is the question that I had for you guys. Like, you know, you look at Pastor Bruce, Renee, myself, we're all within probably 10 plus years of each other, and so fighting back in our day was, I mean, the scissors story is a bit dramatic, but fighting back in our day was like you fought, it was over, you went about your business. And so with that in mind, I don't know if Bruce was on the same page with me, but I tried to raise the kids to, like my mother raised me, if somebody starts it, you finish it, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like you could say that back then because it was just a fight with your hands. And I tried to say to the kids, you know, like, don't fight, go to windows out, all that kind of stuff. They never listened to me. But with, like, the proliferation of guns and other kinds of violence, what do you guys think about, like, say when you have your kids, what do you think about what you're going to tell them to do?
I'm going to tell them what my mom told me. Don't hit anyone first. Wait till if they hit you
Right.
first, hit them back. And finish it like you said. Like, I know there's, like, a lot of, like, now fighting nowadays, it's not really broken up anymore. It's, like, people just watch it. And I know it's, like, sometimes people act out and try to bring, like, a weapon into play. But I feel like a lot of times after you fight, it's, like, whoever wins, whoever loses, you don't really talk about it again. At least for me and what I've seen and experienced, you don't really talk about it too much again. Like, other people will talk about it and talk about who won and who lost. But the people who are involved, you know, you can walk by each other and not have problems. So I just probably say what my mom told me, like, don't hit anybody first. If they hit you, hit them back and finish. At least that's what my mom says. But you?
The same thing goes for me. If someone puts their hands on you, I would say I give you permission to put your hands on them back, because you're not gonna let someone beat on you or treat you this way. So you can fight back. Just don't kill them. Just don't kill them.
It depends. But yeah, I agree. Defend yourself by all means, but like don't start it, because then you're gonna be at more fault than the other people.
Right.
So,
Yeah. It's gonna be, the blame's gonna be on you, basically.
Right.
And then especially if you lose, that's just gonna be worse.
What did you tell your kids? I never on the air, like, about fighting.
My kids really didn't fight. They kept to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they weren't the type of kids that would to cause problems. And my youngest was very quiet, so no one really had, you know, a reason to bother her. But the boys would look out for their sister. They wouldn't allow anyone to bully her or do anything to her. But they didn't really cause problems. But I told them, don't avoid a fighting by all costs. No matter what the circumstances is, try not to get into a fight. Go to an adult. That's what I would say. Go to an adult. I'm the adult, and then I can handle it from there.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer the question, Kay?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for answering.
We had one question for you.
Yeah.
You had one question for
Have you? They said I have one question. Did you
Oh,
ever
this your
have any
question?
fights?
Is this your question or is this their question?
This is a collective.
This is
No,
his
it's
question.
your
This
question.
his
What is
question.
wrong with the team? No one backs me up, Kay. Kay, did you ever have a fight?
Bruce, of course you know it. I don't know why you're doing this.
She said no.
That's not what she said.
So yeah, I would say, sure, I had fights as a kid. I am embarrassed to say that the last fight I had, I was an adult and had all three of my kids. I felt justified, let me say that, but that was no excuse. Quick story, I was in Burger King, I was in a long line, the young man at the counter was new, cashier was new, and he was really nervous. And the customers in front of me were like harassing him and calling him names and cussing him out. And I thought I was being helpful by saying to the lady in front of me, hey, I think he's new and he's probably nervous. And that's what started the fight. She turned back on me with blah, 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 I want to answer from you, B, blah, blah, blah. So we ended up fighting. And Bruce, we were actually waiting for Bruce to get off of work. So he came in, he saw it, he takes me out, and we get in the car. And I don't know if you guys know this about Pastor Bruce, but he doesn't really raise his voice often. Mm-hmm. And he just looked at me and he said, so when we got in the car, the kids were in there. And Aaron, of course, was like, "Ooh, mommy," and he just looked at me and he said, "Is that the example you want to set for your kids?" Mm. And it hit me like that's what they had seen their mother fight, and I feel like I wish I had walked away from it or just kind of backed off. I thought I was trying to help the kid out at the counter. It didn't matter, after a certain point, we got into a fight. And they laugh about it now, but they definitely remember seeing me do that. Mm-hmm. And that isn't the example that I want. Because that's not what I would tell them to do. Mm-hmm. And that really wasn't the example that I wanted them to see with me. So, You happy, Bruce?
I remember. I'm so traumatized. But thanks for being honest. I'm glad you told the story.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to listen to you guys. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. One last thing for me. First of all, it is now 12:49. I don't know who's been doing all the talking. I think Renee over here talking about her fighting experience. But when I became age 16, 17, I traveled with a group of 13 dudes in Grove Hall. That was our turf, Grove Hall. We protected each other. There were no more fights because people, if you hit one of us, you take on all of us.
Yeah.
And people didn't want to do that because I wasn't the tough one. I was one they were trying to protect. I had some people that were tougher than me, and just their presence backed people away from me. So if anybody feels threatened, I know how to put a group together to protect you. Just let me know. Okay?
You'll be on speed dial. I got you.
That's the thing about me too. I feel like anytime I'm out, no one tries me. One, because they already know like don't play with me. And two, I'm always in a big group. I'm always in a big group. Boys, girls. I'm always at least with like 10 people or more. I'm never alone. So that's like a good thing about having a big group. It's always a mix of boys and girls, and no one's gonna try a big group of people because people I hang with, you're not gonna hit one of us and not one
For me, I would love to have a big group of friends, be with me and protect me or whatever. But for the school that I go to, I can't really have that. I can't, only because in my school people are so fake.
People are fake.
They are. Because, the only best friend that I have right now is my girlfriend, and that's it. But I want to have other friends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I told you about this. Oh, God. Anyway.
We'll talk when we get back to the table.
Okay. But, I would want to be friends with them, but I can't. I cut a lot of my friends off only because what things that I found out. I found out that apparently my so-called friends, they would talk trash about me to other people. Mm-hmm. And I found out by those other people. So I blocked them, cut them off on everything. Then they want to wonder, oh, why'd you cut me off or block me? And I'm like, because of what I found out that you was doing. I'm not gonna protect and deal with someone who treats me like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not giving me the same treatment back that I'm giving you, there's no way I'm staying. There's no way. Because there's, like, what am I staying for?
Especially from so-called friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if I saw you as family, that just hurt me more. Because now, ever since that time, I've been having trust issues with the people that I want to make friends with or, you know, build a relationship with. But now I know. Now I know.
Well, you know, you got backup here, right?
Yeah.
And I'd be the first to jump in.
Yeah.
Couldn't help you, but I'd still jump in.
Yeah, I know.
You said yes, I know.
Yeah, well, does anyone have anything else to add before we end it off?
Any other confessions?
Why are you looking at me?
I was just looking in that direction.
Do you have any more confessions?
No, I think I've spilled it all out.
Are you sure?
No, but no, yeah, I think I've spilled it all out.
Can't wait for that talk at the table.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for watching the broadcast. I hope you guys were very entertained by our stories with siblings and fighting. And please come back tomorrow at 12. Bye.
Bye.
It is imperative that the truth about us, we give. No more trying to get ratings with the hating. No more fake news. Now we can choose Boston Black News. Boston Black News.
Extra, extra, read all about it. we have.